What time do we get there? Maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that, huh?
What is that, Prabhuji? What you're asking something?
I was asking what time you get there to do the.
Every Mangala Harati is every day 5 o'clock, Prabhuji. 5 a.m. Mangala Harati.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
many temple does 4:30, many does at 5 o'clock, many does at 4:15 also.
yeah, actually online we used to do 4:15 every day, Zoom call. So
Yeah,
temple started like going there, and it is like as a starting thing. Just wanted to see how it works. That's how we decided to go start with 5 o'clock. Maybe future that can change. Yeah.
nice. Looks super good, Prabhu, I can tell you. Very good. Let's the Krishna consciousness movement grow all over the world, you know. Everywhere we have thousands and thousands of, every country we have thousands and thousands of the temple
Yeah.
and millions of devotees. That's how things will change. Thank you. So we can start now. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालां पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातदहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तो स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 नाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय आनंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल की जय हरे कृष्णा. Anybody is saying anything? I'm hearing some sound or it just
I think Manohar Prabhuji, you are on unmute.
okay, that's fine. I thought that Mata Bina Mataji was saying something.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Today we are going to start new chapter, chapter 17, the divisions of faith. In previous chapter, Krishna talked about divine and demoniac people. And then the last part, he spoke about there are divine people who believe in Shastra. And then he said that there are Ashuric demoniac people who do not believe in Shastra, a scripture. And for those who do not believe, for them there is no peace in this life and there is no peace in next life. So Shraddha or faith in Shastra, very important. So then Arjuna is asking that we know that there are people who do not have faith, and we have people who have faith in Shastra, in the scriptures. But there are people also who are in the middle, who do not have faith in Shastra, in the scripture, but they still believe, in some ritualistic activity. Very common, right? They don't believe in Shastra, but still they believe in ritualistic activity. And they do charity, austerity, and charity, austerity, and sacrifices without following a proper method. So Arjuna is asking, what is the destination of those who are worshipping in unauthorized way? Then Krishna says that in that also there are three types: passion, goodness, and ignorance. And then we'll see foods sacrificed, sacrifice, austerity, and charity. So food, sacrifice, austerity, and charity. When these things are done in different modes, what are their goals? Where finally do they go? What result do they get? That's what I'm trying to say. What result they get by doing charity or austerity or sacrifices in three different modes. And then finally, last few verses, Krishna confirms that all of these things, if it's done with faith in God, then the result is eternal, everlasting. There is no um, end to it. It's whatever you do it for eternity. It stays with you. If charity, austerity, and sacrifices are done with faith in God, but if it's not done with faith in God, then they have different subsidiary temporary result, and the results are based on different modes that they have, that's coming out of their association, and that association give them their faith. So that's the basically topic we are going to discuss in this chapter. This chapter is very critical. Why it's very critical? Because we do not see so many people being very divine, as Krishna has spoken about their quality in 16th chapter. We do not see people who are too divine, and we also do not see people who are too demoniac. We don't see that. Right? But most of the time we see people who are blend of both. They have some faith here, some faith there. It's very randomized. It's not very systematic, and it's not very organized. So this chapter is going to talk about those person or those personalities who are in the middle with no faith in scripture. So that's the topic we are going to discuss. Is it clear, the connection between last chapter and this chapter?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Because in last chapter, Krishna says that there are people who disregard the scripture and there are people who follow the scripture. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya vyavastito gyatva shastra vidhanuktam karma kartum yaharhashi. What is duty and what is not a duty? That should be decided based on the evidences of scriptures. And one should act accordingly to elevate their life. But yes, Shastra Vidhi Mutsrijya Vartate Kam Akartah न सिद्धिम आपनोति न सुखम न परम गतिम. On the other hand, those who utsrijya discards the teaching of Shastra and acts according to their own whims, athomant tathopant, attain neither perfection nor happiness and nor liberation, either in this life or even in the next life. If you go to Vrindavan Dham or any other Dham, Krishna walked on the Vrindavan Holy Land as a person, Supreme Person, and he spoke Bhagavad Gita as a person, and his teachings are present to us. But still, you will see, societies where they believe in Shunya, they believe in Brahman, they believe Baba Nam Satya, something, I don't know. I don't want to tell the name, but you could see, so many still, Mayavadi type of theology. I don't know from where it comes. As of now, my answer would be I don't know, because you haven't finished this chapter. But this chapter will help us understand that this Shraddha type of personality, the personality who do not have Shraddha, how, from where it comes, and what do they do, and how do they do. Okay, so very important and very critical chapter. I personally think that majority of the people, they fall in this bucket, the middle, unless and until they have faith in Krishna. So in chapter 16, Krishna talks about putting faith in himself. And in chapter 15, last series of verses, Krishna is asking to have faith in his personal form, personal feature, not as impersonal feature, not as Brahman, not as Paramatma, rather as a Bhagwan. And this verse 19, Yo mam evam asammuddhau janati purushottamam sasarvavid bhajati mam sarvbhavena bharata. Very clearly Krishna says that yo mam evam asammuddhau, those persons or those personality, asammuddhau, without any doubt, janati purushottamam, know me as absolute personality of Godhead. Sa sarvavid, he says. Sarvavid, vid means knower, and sarvavid means knower of everything. So that person who accepts Krishna as Supreme Person without any doubt, that person is knower of everything. And then he says, he engages in devotional service unto me in all respect, O son of Partha. And then in chapter 16, he starts giving us the quality of that person, divine quality. So divine quality is basically quality of the devotees. Devotees who are worshipping Krishna as person. And then from verse number 8, chapter 16, from verse number 4 to 8, Krishna talks about demoniac quality, and then that continues. And then this chapter ends saying that People who have divine quality, they have faith in Shastra, and they worship me as Purusha, as Purushottama. But there are people who do not have faith in me, and their whole endeavor, this life or next life, is imperfected because they do not come to me. And then chapter 17 talks about the person who are in the middle. So with that background, I see Pina Mataji, you had your hand raised, or
No, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I just wanted to let you know that we can just see one screen. That's all.
one
You were
screen?
revising Prabhuji, so I thought the screen should change. That's okay.
No, I was just, no, I didn't change the screen, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for
Mhm.
reminding. So in previous chapter, Krishna has established that faithful follower of the scriptures are divine and that the faithless are demoniac. In 1623, he has concluded that those who disregard the scriptures and behave whimsically do not attain happiness in this life or the next life. And in this chapter, he describes those who are in the middle. So Arjun is asking, Yat Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya Yajante Shardhayanvitah Tesham Nishtha Tu Ka Krishna Shatvam Aho Rajastama Tu Ka Krishna. Very nice, interrogative question. My dear Lord, please tell me, what is the situation of those who do not follow the scriptures? Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya. And what they do? Yajante Shardhayanvitah. They worship according to their own. Are they in goodness or in passion or in ignorance? Tuka Krishna, please tell us kindly, is that person in Sattvam, Rajas, or Tama? So now I have a question for all of you. Is that sounds familiar, that statement that Krishna, who are situated in the middle, who do not follow the scripture,
Yes.
but they do according to their whims? Have you seen something like that in society somewhere? Is it realistic questions, applicable questions or not?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Yes.
Very applicable, very applicable. And that's why it's very important to have diksha. Diksha in a particular bona fide lineage, Shri Sampradaya, Madhva Charya Sampradaya, Pushti Marg, Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya. 4 Sampradayas. These are bona fide, Rudra Sampradaya. These are bona fide Sampradaya, bona fide. There might be some differences in teaching, but this Sampradaya definitely guarantee to elevate one towards divine quality. And then once we have taken shelter of a spiritual master in a specific sampradaya, then it's very, 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 very tends to infinity important to stick with the teaching that is presented by their guru, their shastra, and their acharya, guru, shastra, and sadhu. In that particular lineage, don't mix. Intent is good, but goal is not known. Okay, so just follow particular. That's why in the beginning, once you take time to decide what is working for one's consciousness, once you have surrender, then don't mix and match. It's not good. because then it becomes whimsical. Uh, there are other stuff that I can talk here. For example, giving classes. We only say whatever our acharyas have said. We only know as much our acharyas know. Okay, that's all. That's all. We only know what Prabhupada has taught us. We only know what Vishwanath Thakur has taught us. We only know what Baldev Vidyabhushan has taught us. I'm not smart enough to know more than that. It's not narrowness. It's not that you are being narrow. It's being focused. Focused. If you focus, then you can see the object. So these are some of the things that you can work on distracting, things, the distraction that we have, you can get rid of that and focus, because life is very short. So Arjun is asking very pertinent questions, because mostly people are in their bucket where they are doing things they don't know why they are doing. They are going all over the places. They are hearing everything and they feel it's all auspicious, it's all good, it's helping them, this and that, but it creates more confusion. You don't know Brahman is, somebody will say Brahman is absolute truth, somebody will say Paramatma is absolute truth, somebody will say Bhagwan is absolute truth, somebody will say Dhyana is the absolute process, somebody will say no, Gyan is absolute process, somebody will say no, not Gyan, not Dhyan, Bhakti is absolute process. Understand the concept and just don't get too much confused. So Bhagwan Krishna is now saying, he is Sri Bhagwan Vacha. Bhagwan is going to answer the Arjuna's questions. What was the Arjuna questions? What is the situation of one who do not follow the scripture and worship according to their whims, their own faith? That's the question. What is the future of one who do not follow any scripture and worship you, my dear Lord, according to their whims? Please don't forget this question. What is the situation of those who do not follow scripture and worship you according to their own faith, own whims? What is their mode of worship? Where does it fall? Sri Bhagwan Vacha, Trividha Bhavati Shraddha. Shraddha has three types. Dehi Namcha Swabhavaja. Satviki, Rajasi, Chaiva Tamasi, Chetitam Shranu. Chaiti, Chaiti, Cheti. Please hear from me. People have three types of faith. And that faith is arising from their Dehinamsha Swabhavaja. Very important. That's arising from their acquired nature due to previous impression by the influence of modes. Swabhav, what is there? Swabhavaja, born out of Swabhava. Thus, one's faith can be in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this. So who is this person? Who is this person who has faith in goodness, passion, or ignorance? And what is our faith? Can somebody tell me? Who is being referred here?
Basically, person who is having trying to love Krishna by his own whims, not following the
Yes.
scriptures.
Yeah. Middle type of person. So this goodness, passion, and ignorance does not allow to any one of you, by the way. So what is our faith in? Do you know? What is our faith in? Bimla Mataji, what our faith is in? Bimla Didi? What is type of our faith?
Our faith is
We
not
have
on,
faith, right?
yeah, we have faith, but not on the Bible.
So what is the type of faith we have?
We have
What is
complete faith.
what it's called? Complete faith. Good. What it's called? What we call it?
Pure,
Sadhujanand Prabhu. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
pure bhakti or
Yeah, so bhakti. So it's basically Shuddha Sattva,
Shuddha
transcendental, you know.
faith.
Yeah, it's beyond guna. Okay. This faith is the faith in Krishna as person is beyond guna. So it's not talking to devotee. Devotees' faiths are not in goodness or passion or ignorance. Sometimes we calm down, that's a different thing. We're having faith in Krishna as Bhagwan and worshipping him as per the teaching of Shastra. It's 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 transcendental faith. Bhagavad said, I'm just postman, So I might not be very elevated person. Somebody said, oh, Ramacharya is not elevated, what he's talking about. Yes, I might be very fallen person, but the message that I'm going through is transcendental because this message is coming from Krishna. So all I'm doing is that I'm just repeating it, reading the translation as Prabhupada has given us. So this does not apply to devotees. Your faith is beyond these gunas. Okay. And another very important point is that Swabhavaja is coming from the impression that one has acquired in their previous life. And best example to understand that is that automatically somebody has fear from fire. They get very, scared seeing fire. I have fear of water, I can tell you. I have fear of height. These two things, water makes me very fearful. Body of water, if you ask me to get on a boat and go in the middle of the river, it makes me very, very fearful. Who knows? In previous life, I might have died drowning in a river or something like that. I don't know. There is some impression. And somebody has, some specific skills. Like my wife always tells that Bina Mataji, she's always like very working type of, she always like working. She'll see something and she'll start working on that. From where it's coming? It's coming from her previous life, something in previous life, So likewise, dear devotees, one very important point that I'm going to make. Very, very important point. That sometimes we have some devotee coming in the temple and we ask them to wash the pot. And then that person leave, go somewhere else. 4 or 5 years, no devotional service, nothing. But he has washed the pot somewhere. Then he ended up going to some other place next to temple. And he starts, helping and doing some, physical services. Not attachment with Krishna because he doesn't really have faith in Krishna, but he's just doing, some service. That service is called Agyat Swikriti. And when Agyat Swikriti is accumulated, sometimes in this life it will be accumulated and you become, you have so much of the Agyat Swikriti. Sometimes it might be life after life. But your Agyat Swikriti, any expression of your devotional activity is incurring in your account. And when that becomes accumulated, that turns into Shraddha. That turns into Shraddha. Okay. My daughter Neha, from her very childhood, as soon as we'll say, Namaste, Narsingha, she'll close eyes. Now she's in that age, she's not doing as much as I would like her to do, but I can see the seed is there. Previous life, definitely she has done something so that she has taken birth in our family and all of that. So it's coming from previous life. That's called Swabhava. But when that Swabhava is accumulated. When the Agyat Sukriti is accumulated, then it becomes Shraddha. And Shraddha for Krishna. Atho Shraddha Tato Sadhu Sangha. Bhajan Kriya Anartha Nivritti. Bhakti begins. Now you had Shraddha, then you look for Sadhu Sangha. And Bhajan Kriya Anartha Nivritti, then you are devotee. So you have Shraddha. You have done something in your previous life. For example, just take the example of Shanta Mataji. She has done a lot of bhakti in her previous life. You can see that when you talk to her and try to understand her. Everything else is somewhere else, but she has faith, in Lord, whatever, is that. But undoubtedly, she believes that there is God, there is Bhagwan. Now it may be Vishnu, it may be Krishna. That's different thing. That Shastra will nourish. That faith, that Agyat Sukriti is not coming from this life. You and I should not take the credit. We are hitting so many stone, so many people. Some turn into gold because they have accumulated their Agyat Sukriti. So Krishna is saying here, one's faith can be in goodness, in passion or ignorance, but that is coming due to their previous impressions. Swabhavaja. Okay. Is it clear so far? So
Yes,
how it develops then? Sattva anurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata shraddha mayo ayam purusho yo yat shraddha sayeva sa atisa shraddha tate sadhu sangha. So Shatva Anurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. Shraddha Mayo Ayam Purusho. The one who has particular type of faith, that faith comes according to their association. One's particular faith is evolved according to one existence under the various modes. He becomes similar to whatever form he worships with such faith. So whatever type of association we get, that type of faith we develop. If we associate with somebody who are not believing in God, you get the faith of not having believing faith in God, because they would give you enough argument to not believe in God. If you associate with somebody who is faithful towards God, then he or she will give you all the evidence to believe in God. This morning we had discussion that Bhagavatam first canto 4, 5, and 6 chapter, these 3 chapters, Narad Muni and Vyasadeva is talking. And Narad Muni is telling his story. And then he's telling in his story that he has darshan of Krishna. And then when he departed, he said, this is the process I'm giving you, please go and worship. Engage in devotional service. And then Vyasadeva also had darshan. So 2 great personality, not 1, 2, is giving the evidence that through bhakti, they had darshan of Krishna. Bhakti yogena manasi shamyak pranahite amale pashyad purusham purnam maya chatad yad apasraya. So bhakti yogena manasi shamyak pranahite amala. By engaging in devotional service, when mind, manasi means mind, shamyak amale is perfectly purified. By engaging in devotional service, when mind is perfectly purified, then pranahite. Then one has firm conviction. One vision is very firm. Vasudevam sarvamiti mahatmana sadurlava. Manushanam sahasrestu kaschid vedati siddhaye. Yeah. So Vasudevam sarvamiti mahatmana sadurlava, that comes not in earlier stage, but at the stage when we have completely purified our mind. Amale, male means dirt, and amale means purification. The dirt of false ego, pride, all of that is completely gone by engaging in devotional service. Then one can see the Supreme Lord. So we all have faith that is being evolving, and that faith is devotional faith, transcendental faith, right? Shraddha and Shobhav. Our Shraddha is transcendental, but our Shobhav might not be transcendental. We still have some, tendency, some Swabhava, but faith is transcendental. So what will happen? What will happen in the course of time? Our Swabhav will become our Shraddha, right? And when that becomes, then Asmartavya Satatam Vishnu, Vismartavya Najatsut. You will come into a constant remembrance of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for all of that to happen, for all of that path to take place, it's very, very important that living being associates with right type of person. So then he says that there are worship that are done in different mode. Yajante Shatvika Devan Yaksha Rakshasmi Rajasah Pretan Bhut Ganamshanya Yajante Tamasajana. So Yajante Satvika Devan. So how to know now? Krishna just said that these faiths are coming from the association, and that is Swabhavajan. That's coming from their previous life impression. So how to know that now? How, from where this faith has come? Yajante Satvika Devan. One who are in the mode of goodness, Satvika, Yajante, they worship Devan, gods, demigods. So in goodness, one worship demigods. So if you see somebody, worshipper of demigods, that person is definitely much, much higher because he's already in the mode of goodness. Yakshas raksha amsi, rakshas rajasa. And one who is in mode of passion, who they worship? Yaksha and Rakshasa. So they worship demons. And what are the demons? I am God. Sambhog se samadhi ki or. These are nonsense. Where it says, which philosophy says, So those type of demons, Ham Bhagwan Asmi. I'm Bhagwan this, I'm Bhagwan that. Yes, Bhagwanji. Thank you, Bhagwanji. And then one day Bhagwanji bloop, gone. Bhagwanji is super scared from his death. Death is chasing, Bhagwanji is running. Bhagwanji is drug addicted. Bhagwanji is women addicted. No control of senses. Still Bhagwanji. There are people worshipping Bhagwanji, Bhagwanji, Bhagwanji. So, Yakshasa, Rakshamsi, Rajasaha. They are worshipper in the mode of passion. Pritan, Bhuta, Kanamsh, Chanya, Yajante, Tamasajana. Tamsi Jan, the one who are in the mode of ignorance, who they worship to? Pretan, Bhutan. Bhuta is ghost. Preta is a spirit. Like they worship. Like in Bihar, I remember there was like trees, and everybody would go and throw. They said the Delphia Baba, something like that. This Baba where you have to throw the stone. I remember all of that thing. Leela Mataji, I'm sure you will remember some of those things too, if you have seen those, right? There is an old tree, or this tree is Falana Baba, Chilana Baba. Everybody is hugging and tying ropes and this and that. You know. So this type of worship I have seen. I have seen. So that's the worship in ignorance. That's what Krishna is saying. But please remember, these are the people who are Sastra Vidhi Utsrijya. They have rejected the teaching of Shastra. So, not recommended in the scripture, but they are doing things out of their pride and ego. Why? Because they have ulterior motivations to promote themselves in political or social activities. They are impelled by lust, attachment, strength. They are foolishly torturing their body as well as super soul within inside. Going to the places where dead body is being burnt, and then in midnight they will choose the time, midnight, coldest day or hottest day, nobody around, dark night, going and doing what they're doing. Prabhupada says here, not Prabhupada says, Krishna says here, they are foolishly torturing their body for some riddhi siddhi, some achievement that they can get. Krishna will later say, or he has said before also. No, before he has said that all of these that they are giving, in fact, it's coming from me. So this study, systematic study of Bhagavad Gita, help us understand that what is to be done and what is not to be done. And then we see people engage in charity, engage in sacrifices, engage in austerity, engage in donating foods, taking foods, receiving foods, this and that, all of that. So understand the intent, okay? Don't take it in a very very raw way, rather put some maturity to it and then see what is being spoken. Because we have also been part of, or we have also been victimized by some of these things, thinking that we are doing great. But bhukti, mukti, yogi, kami, shakale, shant, Krishna bhakta, niskama, ataiva, shant. So as long as there is ulterior desire, even in bhakti too, even in bhakti too. Aswaranatmika bhakti, I was talking about that this morning, and we all have gone through it. When karmaphala tyagas, when gyan karmadi anavritam, unless and until that doesn't come, then even bhakti is mixed with jnana and karma. But anya vilasita sunyam gyan karmadi anavritam. Now it's higher, very, very high, very high. But that's the gold standard. That's the standard we want to come at, where our expression of bhakti is only for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever I'm doing for His pleasure. That's Shuddha Bhakti. That's Shuddha Bhakti. Is the gold standard. That's the standard where we want to get it. So let's see some of these endeavors that commonly you will see people are engaging. Aharash tavapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priya yagyas tapas tatha danam. So ahar, food, yagya, tapa, and dan. Austerity, sacrifice, right? Food, all of these. Charity is there too. Dhanam is there. Tesham bhedam imam shrunu. Tesham, all of these have tribiddho. All of these have tribiddho bhavati. You know, they are of three types. What are these types? Very standard. Many of us know. A goodness, a passion, and a ignorance. So all of these ahara, yagyas, tapas, austerity, dhanam, charity, all of these have three categories. So if one is in goodness, then they worship demigod for a particular goal. In passion, you saw that demons, in ignorance, worship ghosts and spirits. So like that, these they have particular objective, and that particular objective they do particular type of activity. So then from verse number 8, now we'll take one by one. Ahara, yagya, tapas, and dhanam one by one, and then we'll break them into goodness, passion, and ignorance, and then we'll see how the food in mode of goodness is seen, in ignorance is seen, what are their symptoms, characters, quality, all of that. And then we'll take austerity, charity, and we'll go from here. So I would like to ask if there is any questions anybody has before we move.
One question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you for explaining these verses. So, the other day when Manohar Prabhuji was giving class and we were discussing about it. So, as you mentioned, Swabhavaja, Krishna is mentioned here, Swabhavaja, the previous life.
Yeah.
These are carried to this life. That's how you nicely mentioned the point, like why somebody is fearful of something. That is really amazing. So, we see many people have different whatever fire, things like that. So if we step back, to acquire these kind of modes, the desire is the thing, right? Because of the desire, we acquired particular mode of nature. That's what Prabhuji was also mentioning. Just I wanted to little bit discussion on that to understand more, Prabhuji, if you elaborate on that point. Like many times Prabhupada also explains that we come with the contact with matter, then we fell into the three modes of nature. So to acquire particular mode of nature, either goodness or goodness or passion or ignorance. So the root cause is desire. Is that correct way to understand, Prabhuji? Can you please?
Free will, which turns into desire. Yes. Let's hear from Manohar Prabhu. Manohar Prabhu, please explain that, since you gave the class on this topic.
No, I'm not the authority in this. In fact, this was a area of confusion. Somebody asked what drives us to take certain decisions. So we were saying, okay, I mean, depending on which level of consciousness we have, it drives our thinking. That was the thought. But coming to this modes, thinking in the light of modes. I mean, different levels of consciousness, meaning the different influence of the modes of nature, we can say. And we can have a higher mode or lower mode depending on, or which modes influences us, which will drive our consciousness, right? So, and that will drive our desires also. I mean, I suppose I'm on the level of a pig, then I'll desire stool. If I'm level of human beings, I may desire better things. Gods, I may have different, more subtler things. So our desires change based on our circumstances. Also, I mean, it has an interdependency, it appears. Um, and the whimsical mind will take precedence and keep desiring stupid things until we come to the saintly person, or a truly saintly, or we learnt our lesson.
Right. So, first thing you said, how certain decisions are being made.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's the question somebody asked, we could not answer. So
Yeah,
people,
Yudhishthira Maharaj, when battlefield of Kurukshetra was over and he was declared to be the king, and now everything is looking pretty good. Yudhishthira Maharaj is going to be king. Hastinapur is fully protected, and all around it looks very prosperous. Then Lord decides to leave for Dwarka. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj starts lamenting and crying. And exactly what you said, that's what he thinks. He is thinking now. What is thinking? Let's see. Yudhishthira Maharaj is thinking that since this whole battle that happened, the outcome of that battle was that I was going to be king. So for me to be king, my forefather, grandfather, my friends or people of my age, my grandkids, all of them died. All of them were killed. So now he is thinking that I am the cause. I'm the cause. All happened because of me. It's humility, but thinking that it's all happened because of me is not good. Then Krishna took Yudhishthira Maharaj to battlefield where Bhishma was still lying on the bed and he was about to now leave. So Krishna took Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishma and requested Yudhishthira Maharaj to ask questions. And then he, in a very lamenting, he's saying that, my dear grandfather, I see you are sleeping on the bed of arrow. Blood is oozing out. I personally think that I am the cause of all of this suffering, all of the damage that has happened to my family. Then, very nicely, Bhishma gives answer. He says that, nope, that's not true. Everything happens because Krishna sanctions it. If Krishna doesn't sanction, then it will not happen. So first cause for things to happen is sanction that's coming from Krishna. And second cause is the jiva itself, jiva's desire. And when Once desire is impure, then they like touching fire. They like jumping and drowning themselves in the body of water. So impure consciousness, impure intelligence will have impure, unwanted type of desire. But since living being has that desire, living being wants to do that, Krishna sanctions that. So to answer your question, any decision, I can pull out the verse and go through that, but just wanted to give you the summary of that discussion. Anything that happens, for sure, Jiva's desire is there. And desire is coming from their mode, their association. And it has to be sanctioned by Supreme Personality of Godhead. A person who is habituated drunkard, he comes in night and he steals the jewels of his wife, goes out, sells it, get the money and buys wine. If he gets success in this endeavor, he himself thinks he made it. He is very proud of it. Now all these things that he's going home, is stealing the jewels or jewelry of his wife, going to the goldsmith place, selling it, getting the money, going in. All of this is driven step by step by their desire, which is impure, and Krishna sanctions it. Why? Because living being has that free will. Living, Krishna. What is the value of love if there is no free will, right? So any conscious living being, the difference between achar and char is that conscious living being has free will. Now that free will, how they use, that's up to them. And depending on the sincerity of their free will, Krishna sanctions them. So decision that comes, it comes from Jiva, and also it's approved by Krishna. If that helps you understand.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhuji, yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Not only one factor. There is not only one factor. It's
Multiple
not only that only, it's not only two factors. It's not only that only your desire is driving everything, No, your desire is to jump. Krishna wants to save you. Then as you jump from the 50-story building, you'll find out there is a truck of cushion going through it. Instead of falling on the ground, you fall on top of that truck that has husk, and you find that you have a cushion and you are jumping on it. So I was trying to die, but why did I survive? So it's not only living beings' desire. Lord also sanctioned it. And perfect example Srila Prabhupada gives, that parents will tell, no, don't touch fire. No, don't touch baby, when baby is playing around the fire. Don't touch, it will burn you, don't touch. Baby foolishly, tries to touch. The mom says, okay, go touch. Once your hand will burn, then you will see. Hand will burn, mom crying. Now the baby again want to do it with more intensity. Krishna says, okay. Mother says, okay, keep on burning yourself. What can I do? But both factors are there. Mother has to sanction and baby has to desire to touch the fire. Prabhuji, Sadbhujanand Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. I think that helps. And as well as the desire, and this is a kind of maybe a misleading question kind of thing. Desire first or mode of nature first. That is may not be. We should not be going in that direction, right? So you mentioned because we are in the particular mode, then we desire accordingly in that mode.
Yeah.
Right. But
Fruits is coming out of a tree.
Yeah.
So whatever tree you transplant, that's the fruit you get. If you transplant the tree of a sour mango, fruit is going to be sour.
Mm.
And if you have a tree of a sweet mango, the fruit is going to be sweet. So whatever mode you have retained, that's what your actions are going to come. I cannot hear you, Prabhu. I think you were saying something.
No, I think that's pretty much Prabhuji. Thank you. So here, this entire chapter is talking about the according to modes, we will be either food we are eating or maybe places also we see. Everything is according to our modes. We would be.
Yes, and you'll see that, right? And you'll see that exactly. So somebody like Tamsi food, somebody like Rajsi food, somebody like Prasadam. Why? Devotee when they start coming to temple, they like learning mridanga, kartal, harmonium. That's very good. That is a very transcendental, that's very powerful desire. That type of desire. Oh, how can I do this? I want to play mridanga. I want to sing for Krishna. I want to dance for Krishna. I want to do class for Krishna. These are excellent desire. But on the other hand, people are getting desire to smoke or to drink and to go to nightclub and all of that. That's very dangerous desire. So depending on the mood that one is in, desire will come. As long as, here is the thing, Prabhu, desire will come from your subhav or it will come from your shraddha. If we are very impure, then desires are coming from our senses, which is from our subhav. If you are very impure, that's I meant. But if you are very pure, then it's coming from your shraddha. But if you are in the middle, sometimes it will come from your senses and sometimes it will come from your value system. So right now, just take the example of ours. We still have, we are trying to be pure devotee, but we still have, a tendency to see what's happening in Indian politics or so many other unwanted news and all of that. But as soon as we see something, we say that what I have to do with this? I just wasted my time. I should chant name of Krishna. So that war of tug, we say, between Swabhav and Shraddha. So the impure one has their decision coming from senses. The pure ones, their decision is coming from, their desire is coming from their value system. In the middle, sometimes it comes from value system, sometimes it comes from senses for devotee. But person who are completely, out and they are in one of these guna, then their desire is prominently coming from senses. Senses, mind, intelligence, false ego, Gyanindriya, Karmindriya, we'll talk about that, coming from them. And whatever the stage they are in, that type of, desire they will have. A man who is drinking, is smoking, in the night or in the day is contemplating on bad thing. A person who is gently is always seeing, brighter thing. So that's how the modes takes part in our lives. Was it a little bit helpful, Prabhu, or no? Manoj Prabhu? You want to add
Yes, it
something?
was very helpful. I mean, the way you explained it, the desires are dependent. We may be in the lower impure state or shraddha. Our shraddha is pure, but our swabhav. Like the last time you said the example of a fan, right? So
Yes,
our shraddha may be pure, so we switched off the fan, the material fan, but our swabhav is still running.
yes,
That is making us still going back and forth. So
yes. Thank you, Prabhu. So next week we'll finish this chapter. One of you, I would like you to just, just kind of reading. So you can just go through some of these verses. I know it's mostly going to talk passion, goodness, ignorance. What happens, if somebody is doing austerity and goodness, passion and ignorance? What happens if somebody is doing charity, what happens, what are the foods, in different modes. So quickly, we'll just go through, we'll just read one after another. And then when we come to last part, Om Tat Sat, then I would like to a little bit give you some more understanding of what does it mean, because that was something that confused me for a long time. Om Tat Sat, the application was a little hard for me to understand. So I'll try to explain that to you. And then that's all this chapter. You can see the picture that I chose for this particular chapter. You can see, somebody worshipping demigods in the mode of goodness, somebody, worshipping in the mode of passion, somebody in ignorance. So I picked up this picture for this particular chapter. And you can see that this chapter mostly talks about goodness, passion, and ignorance. So next week will be our last class on this topic, and then we'll get into uh, last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much for your kind attention, enthusiastic participation. Please forgive me if I said anything that was not pleasing to you. We'll meet next Saturday, 11 o'clock. Thank you, Bimala Mataji, for sending messages and trying to help me. Appreciate your kind help. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchkalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyayavasya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav ki jai special. So this is okay, Prabhu, right? The pace that we have is good, right? I'm not trying to rush through it. I'm giving enough time to digest these things. So you are okay with that, right?
Yes,
Everybody's fine with that?
yes, Prabhuji. Yes, good.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
Lord.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Dandot pranams to everybody. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandot. Dandot. Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad.
Hare Krishna
Hare,
Prabhuji.
Hare
Jai
Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Jyoti Mataji. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare
Thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Your health is good?
Yeah, everything's a lot better now with Krishna's grace.
Awesome.
How about your health and
Yeah,
Mataji's
yes, good. I'm good. I'm good. I ate some yogurt. So when I eat yogurt, my back pain, sciatica starts giving me more trouble. So I realized that I should stop eating yogurt. I
You
ended
can
up,
my dad, I think he talked to some Ayurvedic specialist, and they said like, okay, whatever you eat, like just warm it up. So you can even the salad too. They told it's really
oh,
weird. So
yeah.
he has to warm up like the salad too, and then he eats it. And he's telling me because he has rheumatoid arthritis, which is very painful.
Oh,
Uh-huh. And then so he said like he's feeling a huge difference after he started warming everything up. And
it helps, huh?
I can ask him like what medicine he's taking some natural like medicine, and he
Yeah,
mixed.
ask what medicine does it take, because my wife has rheumatoid arthritis too.
Oh, Haribol,
So
like
it will help. Will help her.
so painful.
Yeah.
I'll ask. And then like he mixes like haldi in like water or milk. Do you do haldi?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Haldi milk.
Yeah, I do haldi.
And
It's called,
some
yeah, I take haldi pills and yeah, just yogurt I had 2 days back, and then today I'm having pain. So it will go
with
away in 1 or 2 days, Mataji.
because without the yogurt, yogurt is really good for your immune system. So I think
Yes.
if you
Yes,
warm
that's
up.
how I started eating, yogurt, because I had ulcer also before. Mataji,
Um,
come tomorrow. Tomorrow we are doing kirtans, okay?
oh, you're doing kirtan? Okay,
Yeah, please
sure.
come.
Is it in the temple, right?
Yeah, 4:30 we are starting. 7 o'clock we'll have kirtans, and then after that we'll have Gaur Aarti.
Oh, okay,
Thank you.
for sure. And then there's like it's like a kartal or that instrument.
Yeah, Mataji is teaching, right?
We can only use the one in the temple, right? We can't bring our own, right?
No, you can bring your own too. Why? You can bring your own.
Okay.
Yeah, please bring your own.
Okay. Yeah, I was just
Please do
wondering.
that.
Actually, I'm still learning how to play it. I'm not quite good
You
with
learn
it.
it faster, okay? You learn it faster so that you can play in the kirtan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.